Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WWE News and Rumors. I'm your host, Brandon Hodge. So this video is brought to you guys by SeatGeek. So if you guys are looking for tickets for any event in the entire world, get them through SeatGeek. Use my last name at checkout. Get yourselves $20 off your order. This is for first time orders only. So if you've ordered through SeatGeek before and make a new account with a new email, you can still use the code. Get yourselves $20 off any ticket for any event as using code Hodge as your promo code at checkout over on SeatGeek. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and jump into this video. We're jumping with something good. So it's time. Go and get those juice boxes out. Get those juice boxes ready. So we're just going to jump in. We're going to talk about some juicy rumors. So the first rumor of the day. Now we talked about that in the last episode of this new show that former WWE wrestler Rusev is a free agent and he could possibly come back to the WWE and be that Russian Brood or Bulgarian Bro, whatever, maybe have an entirely new gimmick or whatever. So this rumor is actually saying they actually went ahead and did that quite quickly. They did not waste any time whatsoever. And apparently Rusev has actually been re-signed to the WWE. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means Rusev's going to go to NXT, which I could see happening, or if he's going to be right back on the main roster and have a great kind of gimmick, or just jump right back into where he left off of. And then there's the question about Lana. Of course, Lana was his partner in WWE, and they ended up getting married. And then apparently they got there was rumors they got divorced, and then they're back together again. I don't know. I try to stay out of the personal life kind of thing. That's their deal. But as for professionally, Rusev has been re-signed to the WWE, but the rumors are saying Lana will not be coming back. But that could change in the future. But Rusev's back in some capacity. We'll see him on NXT or the main roster sometime, I guess, very, very soon. And the next rumor of the day will be about WWE's partnership with Netflix. So we're talking about Netflix. So of course, most of us are probably getting pretty used to this at this point. WWE Raw is on Netflix every single week now. It's something interesting about, Netflix and WWE Raw's kind of deal they have is they could put on Raw whenever. When they were overseas, they put on Raw 2 o'clock in the afternoon here because that's when it was happening over there. It was it's very weird. Also, it was the first time they've ever done anything like that. When they had pre-tapes before, they would just tape it, and no one in the States would see it until later on, and then you had spoilers and all that. You don't have to deal with that anymore. It just happens live on TV. You don't have to deal with that. It's just so freaking cool. But nonetheless, what we're talking about specifically here is Netflix control over what WWE does. So the old contract was with, USA Network here in the United States. It was with NBC Universal. Basically, they had a lot of pull on what WWE were able to do, and they requested WWE to do things. And they said, don't do this, don't air this, we didn't like that, and all this. So they had a lot of control. So what control does Netflix actually have? Apparently, zero. None. Netflix has no control whatsoever. They have no creative control over anything WWE does. They are just responsible for distributing the show, for broadcasting the show, and that's kind of it. And which is insane considering how much Netflix is paying to them. But yeah, basically WWE can do pretty much whatever the heck they want, and Netflix can't say anything about it. The only thing that could happen is at the end of the deal, they could decide not to renew it or whatever. But yeah, they have absolutely zero creative control apparently. Alright, the next rumor of the day will be about WrestleMania 41. I can't believe what I'm about to say, ladies and gentlemen. WrestleMania is 2 weeks away. It's literally 2 weeks, I guess from yesterday will be night 1, but 2 weeks from today will be WrestleMania night number 2, which will be the main kind of WrestleMania night. So ultimately, what's happening at WrestleMania? What's happening each night? Well, I got the rundown for you guys, at least the rumored rundown that is, of what matches are happening each night. Now this could change, and some of this has already changed, and they will still be adding more matches to this. As of right now, it looks like they're kind of trying to book 4 matches a night, but they could add matches to the show. We can see 5 matches a night. Which hopefully they don't do more than that, because that's a lot of freaking matches to watch in 48 hours. Okay, so apparently, night 1, the match we're going to see on night 1 WrestleMania, we're going to have Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the title. We're going to have Gunther versus Jey Uso for the title. Not in the main event, but it's the one with Rumble, and that was supposed to be for the main event. I don't know. They're just stepping on their own toes. It doesn't make any sense. We're supposed to have Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens, but of course, Kevin Owens literally a few days ago announced he's going to have neck surgery, so he's going to be out a little while, and I wish him the best with that, but ultimately that match is no longer happening. So Orton will probably still wrestle at WrestleMania, so I would say Orton's still going to have a match on that night, but I don't know against who or what they're going to be able to push together so quickly with no story. It's going to be really interesting to see what they do. And the main event of WrestleMania night number 1 will be the triple threat between CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. Okay, so that's apparently the 4 matches for night 1 as of right now. Move on to night 2. We don't have 4 matches yet, so they're definitely adding something to this. We have 3 announced for night 2, or not announced, but rumored for night 2, and they could be adding like a tag team match or something, so we have like no like tag team. And for night 2, we don't have a match for the Intercontinental title either, so it can be Intercontinental title or the tag team thing needs to be added to like one of the nights or whatever. So we might have like 4 or 5 matches per night. I don't know. But anyway, night 2, we're having AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. We're having Io Sky versus Bianca versus Rhea. And we're having, of course, the flagship of this entire show, John Cena's last WrestleMania, where John Cena wrestle. He's such a bad guy. Now he's going to be wrestling Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship in the main event of all of WrestleMania. So thus far, that is the current schedule for WrestleMania this year, happening in literally 2 weeks. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and this is actually it. It's the final news story. Remember, the final thing I'm going to be talking about inside this episode of WWE News Rumors. We're going to keep this train going on WrestleMania 41, as we should, because WrestleMania 41 is coming up very, very quickly. So like I said, the flagship match, the main event, the main attraction for all of WrestleMania, you got John Cena as a heel, as a bad guy, going up against the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, who just, completed his story at last year's WrestleMania as the face of the company right now. Love him or hate him, he's the face of the company, and he's been carrying that title for over a year now. Now when we're talking about this match, there's been a name that's been kind of missing for a little while from when, Cena turned heel and attacked Cody. He joined The Rock. The Rock has been missing. The Rock has not been on WWE television. Actually, The Rock has not even been mentioned on WWE television. Why is that, and what in the heck's going on? And also, Travis Scott was with them attacking Cody, and yeah, that was a whole nightmare alone there. But ultimately, where's The Rock? What's happening? So The Rock is a Hollywood movie star, of course. He's filming this giant, mafia movie right now. He's a busy guy, so he actually doesn't know if he will be at WrestleMania if his schedule will allow it. So they kind of wrote him off of TV and not just stop mentioning, just pretending he didn't exist. But ultimately, the current plan is if The Rock is available, he will be a part of this matchup. He will be at WrestleMania in some capacity. We don't know if he can actually wrestle, get too physical or whatever, or just be in his corner. Or just going to be like a distraction. Just going to be a distraction during this match to help, John Cena win the title. So John Cena can be The Rock's champion. Not for the people, because it's not the people's champion. It's really, really weird compared to Rock's history. But nonetheless, yeah, basically The Rock doesn't know. So I'm thinking maybe we'll see like a distraction and like The Rock help Cena win the title if that's the direction they decide to go. But also there's rumors saying Travis Scott is 100% going to be there. Like, Travis Scott's 100% going to be there. Cena's definitely going to be there. He's in the match. But as The Rock, we actually don't know yet. But hopefully it'll work out in some capacity. If you can't get physical, at least like a distraction would be helpful, I guess. So there you guys have it. That is today's news and rumors. Let me know your thoughts on all these news stories, rumors in the comment section down below. But I'm your one and only undisputed king of Vlog Style, Brandon Hodge, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.